All right, guys, let's begin. Again, I have to show the screen, so I cannot be on top of the chat. If you do have a question, please unmute yourselves. And I'm gonna go ahead and start with Dotloop, and then after Dotloop, we can do a little bit of KV Core. This is going to be the only Dotloop class that I'm gonna do this month. And it is paired with KV Core, so if you guys have absolutely any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, okay? Now, Dotloop. I want you guys to view Dotloop like if it would be like this big file cabinet, okay? And inside this big file cabinet, you're going to have loops, and each loop is gonna be kind of like your file folder for each transaction you guys create. This is, I also want you guys to know that Dotloop is the way that you guys are going to communicate with the office, your transactions and your paperwork, okay? We are not, it is very hard for us to keep up with the emails like you guys were doing of doing them up on Form Simplicity, downloading them, emailing it. They could get lost. You know, all the attachments could be too big. It might not upload them all. They can go into our spam folder, and it can delay the process of paying you guys commission. So with Dotloop, we don't have that issue anymore. As soon as you submit for review, which I will show you how to do today, everybody here in the office will be notified, and we should be paying commissions within 24 hours if your files are complete, no more than 3 days. Okay, so I do want you guys to view Dotloop kind of like your best friend when you're in the middle of a transaction when it comes to creating all of your documents and your transactions. All right, so first thing I do want to show you guys is the area where the templates are. And the reason why I want to show you this is because where the templates are is where all your forms are located, okay? So the very, very first folder is Brokers LLC. This is where we're going to keep our W-9, our bank instructions, our broker's title, escrow bank instructions, and the broker's license number. I do want to let you guys know, due to the privacy of our bank information and the privacy and security of the information that's also in our W-9, if you guys ask me for this information, ask me to email it, you call me, hey, send it to me, text me, message me, whatever it may be, we cannot send it to you via phone, text, or email. The only thing I can do is guide you and let you know that you have to go on Dotloop to find it, okay? So this is where all these documents are. Apart from these documents, we have also created Brokers LLC master folder. In the Brokers LLC master folder, you're going to see that we have created several documents that will make your life a lot easier, okay? Such as the broker's release and cancellation. FAR doesn't have a release and cancellation for rentals, so we have created one that can help you out when it comes to the release and cancellation of your rentals. You guys also have your questionnaires, your residential info sheet, and so forth, as well as your walkthroughs, okay? Florida interactive forms. If this is one of the very, very first times that you are working with Dotloop, you might not be able to enter your Florida interactive forms because most of the times they will ask you for your NAR ID number. So to get your NAR ID, you're gonna go to your gateway, whether you're paired with the Miami board or with Broward, the Miami RE, you'll be able to find it through your gateway. Give me 1 second. I want you guys to see where you can locate it. So where you're in your gateway, in the second button, it's called My Miami Dashboard. If you're part of the Broward board, it will be under your profile. It's a button that's called Profile. It's on the right-hand side if you're part of the Broward board, and you'll be able to find that NRDS number. This is your NAR number, okay? Your NAR ID, that is what is attached to your license, you are a member of NAR. So make sure that you go into your gateway, locate that number, because you're going to need it in order to work with your Florida interactive forms, okay? Through your Florida interactive forms, obviously you have all your contracts in here as per the state. And last but not least, you have your Miami Association documents. Now, if you're part of the Broward board, you should also have your Broward forms in here as well, okay? Yes.
So every time we open a document, they're going to ask us?
No, just once. It's just pretty much syncing your information to NAR to make sure that you are able to use those documents. Okay. Basically, just because you have a license doesn't mean you can use the Florida state forms. You have to be part of a broker in order to have these forms. Okay, and by being a part of the broker, you have to be a part of the board, which is governed by NAR, who's the one who gives you access. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so after templates, let's get to the good stuff, which is the actual part that you're going to be needing. So you would go ahead and click on add a loop. Let's say you're going to start a transaction. So you're going to go ahead and click on add loop. And I want you guys to always, 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 always use property address. Okay. When we get audited or when the board calls for a file, they will not tell me, hey, can I get the file for Andreina? They're going to say, hey, I need the file for property address, whatever it may be. So just be sure that you guys always put the property address here. Now, a very cool thing about Dotloop is that if it is a listing on the MLS, it will try to sync that listing with Dotloop to auto-populate all of the information. Now, that does not mean that if there is a listing and you cannot find it, that it's a problem, okay? This is just to create a loop, okay? So when you guys are creating a loop, let's say we are going to create it, let's say this is my property address. See, right away, it's going to start trying to locate that address through Google Maps, through the MLS, and through other resources. If you cannot find it, it's okay. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys tell me, listen, sometimes I need to fill out a referral. I don't have an address. That's okay as well. Put the names of those clients or put the name of how you can manage it. But the minute you have an address, do change that loop name. It's going to make your life easier when you guys tell us, hey, when will I be dispersed for this file? We're going to ask you for that address. Okay. So just make sure that somewhere along the way, you guys do change it to the property address. This section with the loop template, for me, is one of the most important ones. And for you, it should be the most important one as well. And I'm going to show you why once we're inside the loop. But you do have to pick pretty much who you're representing. Is this a listing loop? Meaning, is this a sale? You know, you're representing the seller. Are you representing the buyer? Are you representing the landlord? Are you representing the tenant? Or is this a referral that you're waiting for? Okay. For the sake of this training, I'm going to go ahead and pick on buying loop. I don't need a picture. This is more for you guys. If you guys want to upload a picture, maybe to categorize them in your main page, but we don't really need a picture. And then from there, you will click on done. Now, I want you to remember that we picked a template when we were creating this loop, like who were we representing, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and click on view loop. The reason why it's important to pick the correct template, give me 1 second. The reason why it's extremely important to pick the right template is because at the bottom of your loop, you're gonna get a list of tasks. Now, these are not documents, it's a checklist. And once all of these items have been completed and uploaded, then you know that we can disperse your commissions. Does that make sense? If something is missing, we cannot disperse commissions. Yes.
Again, the part, okay, the tasks.
Yes.
So after like selecting, buying, whatever, I don't see that. Like, so
We created the loop.
Yeah.
We finished the loop and then we clicked on view loop.
Okay.
Guys that are on Zoom, do you guys have any questions so far?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
Who clicks on the task to be completed? You or I do?
This is
right?
for you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for you. So we are not going to be checking to see if you guys have completed this.
Okay.
We're going to make sure that your documents are up here. So this task list that we've done, this checklist, is pretty much for you guys to say, is for you guys to have something in your face without saying, oh my God, Andreina, I've uploaded everything. I don't know what I may be missing. This list
Okay.
will tell you exactly what you may or may not be missing. It's right here
A
in every
guideline.
single one of the loops. The what?
It's just a guideline.
It's just your guideline, exactly.
Okay.
Now, how do you upload your documents? Before I get there. So obviously your tasks, you can move, you can check these out. Some of them do say applicable, but if you have it, please upload it. The more information, the more your file is complete, the better. I want you guys to always think, not as a, oh my God, I need to get paid. I want you guys to always think of, what if there's an audit? What is that auditor going to ask for in my file? And once you think that way, everything becomes easier, right? Because if you're an auditor and what are they going to ask for in your file is pretty much everything that got fully executed. Obviously your MLS listing, just to make sure that it was listed on the MLS, the tax roll to make sure that that is, the seller that signed the contract, that ended up signing the closing disclosures, but it's pretty much like, what will an auditor look for? And this is pretty much it, okay? I'm gonna go up instead of down. So the next section is your people. I want you guys to think of this main page has the more information I add in here, the more my documents are going to be auto-filled later, okay? So maybe you don't have documents to fill out when you're creating the loop, but you do have the people that might be involved with the loop, okay? So if you already know who you're representing, start filling out their information. Let's say, Andreina Monserrate. I'm gonna put her email address and she is going to be my buyer. Okay, I'm gonna add this person. I don't need any more information. The only reason why it's asking me for first and last name and the email address is because that first and last name is gonna be needed for every document and that email is going to be needed for e-signatures. Everything else, I truly don't need. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this person to my team.
If you're representing a couple, but they will use the same email, like I have right now, this is what I'm creating. Another couple, they use her email, so I create both buyers with.
It's not going to accept you.
Okay, that's,
You need to have 2 emails.
so if I don't, it's a problem.
It's a problem unless you go and do an in-person signing with them. It's a problem because the system is meant to certify that that actual person is the one signing, right? And by having one email, it can only certify one of them.
Okay.
It cannot certify both. So that it's kind of like, and that's not just Dotloop, that's like most of the systems, other than I believe DocuSign. I think DocuSign will let whatever email you add on, but if you
File too.
add files as well,
So I could, in that case, if it comes to that, I can use Form Simplicity, have it signed and then upload the.
if that might make, your life easier, yes.
Okay.
But it's pretty much because of that certified stamp.
Yes.
Okay. Again, the more people you have here, the more it will autofill your documents later. We don't need much information. This is pretty much just for you guys and for the e-signature aspect. Okay. So apart from that, we do have our escrow and title. We have Margaret's information on here, and we did add in here a home inspector that we've worked, we've liked him. Obviously, you don't have to use these people. These is pretty much just kind of like, hey, we know them, try them out.
What's his name, the home inspection?
Danny Nieves with South Florida Inspectors. He's the owner of South Florida Inspectors. All right, so how do you upload your documents? The first way, and I think the easiest way to upload your documents is obviously through the templates. The templates is the exact same thing that we went through at the very, very, very beginning. So through your templates, let's say that you needed your HACCPs. You're gonna go ahead and add that. Let's say now you need a addendum. Your addendum to contract, I'm gonna click on that. Let's say now from the master folder, I wanna get these 2 items, okay? So it doesn't matter which folders you go through back and forth. You guys can select from every folder. You can add them all in without any hitch or problem. Now I'm gonna go ahead and copy it. One thing that I do love about this is that even though you're copying several files, they're not grouping them together, they are leaving them separate. So that if for any reason you don't need that other paper, you don't have to split your documents. They're all already individualized, okay? Now, let's say we want to start working with the HASs. Do you have a question, Susana?
No.
No, okay.
I do because I'm sorry, I missed the very beginning of the meeting. So I select, by selecting the master folder, I get to the, on the right column, the other options.
No, so if I'm gonna add a document, I'm gonna go to templates. You have your Florida Interactive Forms, which are all of your documents.
Okay.
The Brokers LLC master folder are just documents that we have created to make your life easier. Okay, they're not required to be used, but
Okay.
they're there in the case, like our brokers release and cancellation. That's the one for rentals, because the FAR bar doesn't have one, so it's pretty much just to make your life a little bit easier.
But up there, there's one that says required. The brokers are LLC sales and rentals checklist.
Okay, so it's not necessarily required. This
Ah.
checklist is the same thing as your
Same thing,
tasks.
okay.
Okay, so if you need that checklist to view, it pretty much it says required just because the documents that are in there are required in order to disperse your commission. But it's not a document that we require you to have. So like if I was to click on it and copy it, if I was to look at it, it's pretty much just a checklist of what you need,
Okay,
okay?
so I would go then to.
But we don't need
Miami
it.
Association and pick the documents that I want from there.
I think I'd go more with the Florida ones.
Okay,
I'd go more with the Florida Interactive Forms, more so than the Miami Association ones.
oh, that's where the ID comes in that I saw you.
Correct.
Talking about it before, okay.
Correct. All right, so let's say we're ready to start filling out our contracts. The first thing that's gonna pop out is an autofill kind of document, right? So the more information you put in here, the more information that will go into your document. So let's say I'm gonna add another buyer. Okay, she's another buyer for me. I'm gonna go ahead and include a listing agent. For some reason, I always pick Guillermo because his information is kind of saved in there. I'm gonna escrow and title. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Margaret. Again, I'm not inputting their phone number or anything like that, just their first, last name and email, which is what the program requires me for the e-sign. I am going to then put the full address of the property. Let's say it's this one.
Daniel, where would I get the ID there, like in the,
Through your Miami Gateway,
yeah, but where there?
on my Miami dashboard. Then from here, your parcel ID, which would be your folio, you can copy and paste it from your tax roll. Let's say the property is 500,000. We are going to put in 10,000 in escrow. The closing day, I'm gonna say it's on the 31st. This offer expires tomorrow. This property includes washer and dryer. But we are going to, I spelled that really wrong, dryer. The property is going to exclude the light fixtures. And I'm only doing this just so that you guys can see that whatever you guys input in here, once I click on autofill, it will automatically autofill your document. Okay, so the more information you have on that first main page, the more it will autofill in here. See, it recognized my buyers, it recognized the address, the tax ID I gave it, the legal description. Obviously, you're gonna copy paste this from, this is not a contracts class, so don't just make things up. You're gonna copy and paste. I said that I was going to include the washer and dryer, but I said it was not gonna include the light fixtures. I put the price, I put that escrow amount, I said who was my title agent. So right away, it completely autofilled the dates of when it's closing and everything. And also, by me selecting who the buyers are, it automatically recognized that my buyers are the ones that are going to have to initial here and gave them the space for the initials, right? So I don't have to add in those boxes for the initials. It's already recognized because Andreina and Claudia are my buyers, okay? So that's in every page. From here, you guys are able to add a signature. So let's say you have a third buyer, right? You guys can include that third signature. And all you have to do is you're gonna assign it. And if it's no one in here, then you can add in that person. Same thing, you can add initials if you guys have a third buyer or fourth or fifth, whatever it may be. You guys can also add in here strike-throughs. Okay. Straight from here, you guys can autofill and say, yes, I'm gonna save my stuff, and it's gonna auto-populate this again if I need to autofill more information, you know? Let's say I inputted the signature in the wrong place, I can click on it, and then right here I have an X to remove that field, okay? Over here, one of my favorite buttons is that you can have the document history. It's going to tell you, you know, when it was uploaded, who has seen it, who has opened it, who has, you know, edited it, will, you know, somebody modified it, saved it. It will tell you the entire document history. What I love about that is that when you share with a client and the client says, I haven't received it, this thing will automatically tell you, well, yes, you did. You opened it up. I have it here. Okay. Yes.
When we send it to our customer or
Yes.
clients, how do they receive it? They receive it by, not by our email.
I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll show you. Not with this document because I added Claudia, but I will show you with a different document, okay? Straight from here, you can also do a host in-person signing. This is great if you are about to get a listing. If you're in the middle of a listing presentation, they're ready to sign, you don't have to tell them, hey, you know what, when I get back to the house, when I get to the office, I'll send you the document. Just have it ready, have them sign in person, or send it to their emails as they're in your face. But this facilitates that process of them not having to then yet again think about what they're about to sign. You know, you have them, they're convinced, have them sign. You can do this in person. The in-person signing will tell you, all right, well, who exactly is the person who's going to be signing this document? You click on continue, and they'll get that page, you know, as if they would have received it in their email.
Can we do that also on our phone?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And they can sign in our phone.
Correct. Okay. So I have saved this document, obviously, but if I was ready to share, let's say it's all pulled together and now I'm ready to share it with my clients. I want you to notice how Dotloop automatically recognizes who can sign and who cannot. Okay. So right away it's telling you, hey, you want to share with these people first because they have 13 fields assigned each and they can sign this document. Okay. Let's say I wanted to include Margaret. I want my title to view this document. Okay. And I click on Margaret. Right away, the system is telling me their escrow title, they can only view this document. Okay, but notice what I do when I click on the listing agent. It gives them the option of can edit in private. And this is beautiful, right? When the listing agent can edit in private. This is awesome because they're not going to view your Dotloop. They're not going to have access to your Dotloop. They're not going to have access to your information, but they're going to be able to open up their own loop, not in yours. They're going to be able to open up their own loop and be able to view this document and now can strike through and can do all these items when it recognizes where their signatures are. So when they upload their people, now the system will recognize where the seller initials are without them having to download it, upload it, add all the initials, and start this like if it would be like a new offer for you guys.
Yeah, but that is in case they do have
Have Dotloop, correct. That is in the case that that listing agent does have a Dotloop. But it's a great option for them if they, you know, if they did. Again, they wouldn't be able to see any of your information, but it would facilitate the process for that listing agent as well. Okay. Now I'm not going to share this document because obviously I added Claudia in here. We don't want her to sign this document that we're using for training. So I'm going to get out of this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a document. Now this would be if you guys are browsing your computers and you guys need to upload a document straight from your computer. You would click on browse. And then you would pick I don't know what I have in here that I can upload, right? MLS rules and regulations. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload this document. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the document that I have just uploaded. And now here, I have a lot more options than I did with the other document that was a template. And the reason why I say I have more options is because Dotloop doesn't recognize what this document is at all, or what needs to be filled out or what does not. So when I click on add, I can add signatures, initials, I can add text, I can add date boxes, I can add names, checkbox, the radio button, which is just your little circle that people can check off, and strike throughs, okay? So I'm able to do, I guess, a lot more because Dotloop recognizes that I need to entirely fill out this thing, right? And it has no idea what needs to be filled out and where, so it gives me a lot more options. But that same way, if this box, I want it to be filled out by my client, I just click on the box and I can assign it to somebody in my loop, okay? If that person's not there, I can obviously add a person, okay? And maybe I put this radio button where I wasn't supposed to. I can always remove it because I might not need it, okay? Now, same thing here. I can view the history of this document and I can host in-person signings, okay? Again, I can save it and I can share it. Let's say that I need to assign this field to me, okay? Now I do want to save and share. So I'm going to go ahead and share with myself. I'm going to click on done. And then, hold on, let me do a new share so you guys can see my desktop. So now when I go into my emails, okay, this is how I'm going to view it. Claudia Serna, because that's the Dotloop that I use so that I can have the Florida interactive forms. I use her NAR ID, right? This is how they're going to see it. So it is not coming from your email address, but it is coming with your name.
Oh,
Okay. Now, just like everything else in real estate, I want you to tell them, if you don't see anything from me in your inbox, please check your spam. You guys know real estate, everything goes to spam. So just prepare them so they know exactly where to look for it. Okay. Now, if once your client sees this and they click on view document, this is what they're going to see. Click start to begin signing. Okay. And once they're done with all their signatures, they're going to get a button here that says I'm done. Make sure that they click on this I'm done button. If they don't click on this I'm done, you will not be notified that this person is done signing. Okay. So make sure that once they adopt and sign, and that they click on finish signing, okay? And the reason for this is because, yes, they have signed, but maybe they want to review it. Now, if I was to go back here on my Dotloop, of course, now it recognized me. Let me go back into Dotloop so you guys can view this document. I'm going to leave the page. I did not click on sign on finished, okay? I need to sign back in. Once I go in here, I did not click on finished. So it will still show waiting on others, okay? And it was shared with who it was shared with. The minute that they click on finished, it's a live program. So I will see it on this side. It will just say, you know, it signed, shared, the whole thing, okay? So just make sure that they go through every single one of their initials, every single one of their signatures, and that they do click on finish. The minute they click on finish, you will be notified and you'll be able to see it on Dotloop. Does that make sense? Okay. There's another third way to add your do you guys on Zoom, do you guys have any questions for me so far?
No, thank you.
Awesome. Want to make sure that even though you guys are not here, that you guys also have a voice. Oh, I left my loop. Give me 1 second. There is a third way. See, Susana.
How can I erase that loop that, for example,
That's actually a great question. So you are unable to remove or delete loops and or documents, but you can archive them. So if for some reason you have documents in here that you do not want to deal with or see, or you're not going to use, just go ahead and archive. It will make our lives easier also in the transactions department because we won't see them and they'll be hidden from your view as well. But you can always bring them back. So you could always click on show archives and it'll show you what's on here.
Okay, but let's say I have several groups, okay, of several addresses, but I want to remove one of those.
Archive it.
Archive, I just do it in.
Not per document. So like when you're in this main page, I'm not going to archive anybody's loop, but you have a button here that's called archive.
Oh, okay.
So archive that loop, okay? Now, there is a third way to add in your documents, and that third way is email, okay? Now, every single loop that you guys create have their own unique individual emails. This is amazing because let's say that listing agent or that buyer's agent sends you the documents in an email. As long as they are in an attachment, has a PDF, you can forward that email over to this email address that's here. And the system is not going to grab that email, but it's going to grab all the attachments and upload them as long as they are PDF. So if they send you something in a Word document, it's not going to upload it. But if they send you, your offers, your has-is and everything else has a PDF format and they're attached to the email, you can just go ahead and forward that email over to this address and they will upload here.
And how do you get that address?
All right, so when you click on add document,
Yeah.
you have 3 options. The very last one is the email. I actually used to use this option a lot when it came to app files. Okay, so that is, the third way to upload your documents. Now, let's say you're fully done with this file. Everything that is being asked for from you here is it's uploaded and ready to go. And now you guys are ready for your commissions. Okay, you guys have a beautiful button here that's called submit for review. When you click on submit for review, it's going to, again, ask you for the address. It's going to ask you for state. Give me 1 second. I'm going to click on. I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And it's going to ask you again, what type of documents are these? I'm putting buying documents. And who are we representing? Even if it's a rental, it's going to say buying or listing. Okay, so obviously if it says buying, that's the tenant. If it's listing, that's the landlord. So who are you representing? So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on buying again. Now, this section here, most of you guys skip it, which this is for the note. I think that the note is one of the most important things that you guys should use. I'm going to explain to you why. A lot of the times you guys close out a file. Let's say you guys had a closing of a sale this morning. Us as a company have absolutely no idea if we're going to be receiving that commission via wire, via mailbox, via FedEx envelope. We have no idea what you guys did with whatever title company. So it is amazing if you're going to be submitting this file for review, or maybe we have the money and we have absolutely no idea that this money belongs to this transaction, right? So having this note right in here, you can say, hi, file closed this morning. Monies to be received via mail to Aventura office. Okay, just let us know where the money is. Okay. And this, I promise you, it's not that we're saying like we're not going to receive it, but it makes it a lot easier. A lot of times we get checks that have absolutely no property information. And we're like, okay, how does, what's going on here? Now, if we see, oh, it's gonna be received by mail, or if it's a wire, now we can open up that HUD and we're like, all right, we're gonna receive this exact amount. So once we get it, we can sync it together, but at least we know where it's coming from. So, you know, always write us a little note, or, you know, I'll be putting this check in, I'm gonna be taking this check to the office later, or I have the check, I'm gonna deposit it in the account, whatever it may be, just let us know. It'll make your life easier, our life easier too. If everything is put together in Dotloop, within 24 hours, we can pay out commissions. I'm seeing Joseph do a lot faster than that. I'm actually very impressed with how fast we're rolling out these commissions. And it's because of how easy this program has become for us, okay? If for any reason you need to communicate with the office in between, I always say, any questions pertaining your documents, how to fill them out, if they're all here, what you may be missing, any doubts, guidance, whatever, call me, text me, smoke signal me, whatever it may be. Now, once it comes to like, hey, I send you everything, where's the disbursements? Now that's with Joseph. Now, I want you guys to also keep in mind, there's 500 of you, and yes, we are disbursing monies as quickly as possible. I mean, within 24 hours, it's unheard of a lot in this industry. So once you submit this file, you know, don't call them right away and say, hey, did you get it? You know, call me, because I also get notified. We all get notified. The minute you submit for review, I get notified, Julieta gets notified, and the entire closing department gets notified. So it's not like one person's gonna miss this email. I promise you, we all receive it, but give them time, let them breathe. Text me instead, Andreina, I just submitted something for review. I can tell you if you did it right or not. And if you did it right, I will let you know, hey, yeah, we've all received it. Just give it a few minutes. Let Joseph open up the email, you know, and then go from there.
Andreina, if I have the check, should I bring it here or can I bring it to the Western office?
It's entirely up to you. You also have our bank instructions.
Okay. Oh,
Okay,
uh-huh.
so you can either bring it to the office, or if you have I cannot, you know, but if you have a Chase nearby, you can also go ahead and deposit it.
Yes.
Our information's in here. Now, if you call me and you're like, hey, I'm at Chase, what's the number? I cannot give you that over the phone.
Okay.
But you can open this on a browser on your phone. We have our app, our broker's app. It's also on there on the member side. So the information is always at your fingertips. So if you have a Chase nearby, that's a lot faster than going to the office. By all means, use that.
Okay.
Okay. These bank instructions work for rentals and your commissions. Our title company's information is also in here, just to facilitate your processes. Okay. Any questions in regards to Dotloop so that we can move on to KV Core? Anybody on Zoom? I wonder if they've left me yet. All right, so I see that you guys are all in here. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to KV Core. KV Core, you guys will hear me speak about KV Core till I'm blue in the face. I don't try to sell you KV Core. For me, every conference that I've been to, and you guys know, every time I do a different type of class, like follow-up, farming, when I did the class yesterday of a realtor's mindset, I always bring up needing to have a CRM. Every conference that I've been to says that if a realtor does not have a CRM, they will not have a fully successful business. The reason for that is because you're leaving a lot of money on the table that you could have, okay? So I'm not trying to sell you KV Core. I do believe that it's one of the best platforms out there, but I will sell you the fact that you will need a CRM in order to be successful. KV Core just happens to be one of the best ones. I have gone through, I have been through Lion Desk. I've been through Follow Up Boss. I have been through a lot of CRMs, and they were never as complete as I have found KV Core to be, okay? If you were to go and get KV Core on your own, it's like a $400 a month platform. It's a very expensive platform. It has a lot of tools. And a lot of you get extremely excited for having KV Core, and then you guys don't fully set it up and use it the full way. If you guys are used to my trainings, you're gonna get tired of me saying consistency and everything is key. Developing habits and office time, which include a CRM, KV Core in my case, is key to anything you guys do in this business, okay? With that said, again, guys, if you're on Zoom, I am not seeing who's on here. I just clicked off the box. I'm not checking on the chat. So if you do have questions, please stop me, okay? This is the main page for KV Core. I want you guys to see that the main page, they all say private leads, okay? These private leads, I cannot see their name. I cannot email them. I cannot call them. I cannot text them. I cannot do anything, okay? The only thing I can see is the property that they clicked on and how they became a private lead, okay? What does this mean? What are private leads? Private leads are the database and the generated leads of you guys, our agents. And even though I'm a company admin, we have absolutely no ability of seeing your database or your generated leads information, okay? We are, and I like to start it this way because a lot of you guys, yes, Susana.
I get lost. Where do you get that from? Private lead?
Okay, so you might see it differently. I see private leads because I see all of the people that you guys are uploading, right? Because I'm a company admin. So you might actually see people's names and their,
Yeah.
okay, so you see nothing, you have one person, but I see everybody's, right?
Wow.
But even though I can see everybody's, I can't really see everybody's. Does that make sense? And I do like to explain this at the very beginning because I also come from a company that used to compete with the agents. And the more information on the database or leads that they had, the better for the competing broker, right? Because now they have all this information they can use to attract new leads and new clients. We don't want that. We're non-competing brokers. Even our broker's non-competing, even though she has a team, she doesn't compete with your information. She doesn't care for it. All we care about literally is growing your production. Me, myself, as the VP of Business Development, your main support system in the office, I am not licensed. I don't want to be licensed. I will never be licensed. And I think that that is my superpower because I've concentrated so much on ways of how to grow you guys without having the clog in the brain of how am I going to up my production, if that makes sense, right? I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about how to grow you. So I like saying that at the very beginning because this is the very first company I've worked with that does not care about having the information you guys have. So I do pride myself in that identification with the company. So anything I see in my dashboard, I cannot click on, that's you guys' information. Same thing with the Smart CRM. When you guys go to your Smart CRM, this is your database. Again, I'm company admin, and all I see is private lead. And even though these are in blue, it won't give me that email address. You guys will see it. It's impressive because I've worked, this is my third company I've worked with on this end. And the last two wanted that information. Okay. Huh?
What companies were those?
I was at Fortunate at Optimar. And I will tell you that we wanted that information. And I fought for many years with all of my superiors about keeping you guys' information private. I identify myself, I've always fought more for the realtor than for the company. And this is the first company I fully identify with all the systems and tools that we give, and the commission splits in particular. And then also the fact that we're giving you guys a CRM without, taking your information. I think that it's a beautiful thing. I think it was like a match made in heaven, right? So at least for me. So how do you start working with KV Core? What is the functionality of a CRM? Where should you guys begin? It really does depend. A lot of you guys might have a very beautiful database on your phone. If you guys can turn your phone database into a CSV, or you say go to Lead Engine and do a bulk import and upload your database, okay? You can either do it yourself. If you're gonna do it yourself, please watch this video. It will tell you exactly how they want those rows to be, the columns in the CSV and Excel and all that to be. Or the second option is to let KV Core handle it. Okay, they take about 3 days. You send them the CSV, they do it. If you guys call me and say, hey, I uploaded my CSV, when will it be done? I have absolutely no idea. That is with KV Core. That has nothing to do with us. But give
Goes up
vacations are per
automatically.
agency. Excuse me?
It goes up automatically.
Automatically.
When
Yeah,
you
I was
do
gonna
it
say, I've
yourself.
had agents wait about a day. I've had agents wait less, but I've never had an agent wait like all 3 days. So that's amazing to know that it goes up automatically. Now, let's say that you guys are importing one person at a time. Maybe you guys went to an open house, you met someone, whatever it may be. You have this quick actions button on every single page, and you guys are able to add your contacts this way. Okay, and when you upload your contacts, they'll be part of your smart CRM and part of your dashboard and all that good stuff. Okay. I will advise that if you're going to be uploading your list, whether it's by yourself or you're going to let them handle it, I want you guys to input a column with a hashtag. Okay, and the hashtag might be buyers, friends, whatever it may be, or phone contacts, just so you guys can identify who these people are that you're uploading them, so that then later you guys can activate the correct campaigns for them if you're going to be activating campaigns or sending them the correct emails. So, start identifying them from the very, very, very beginning. Okay. Through Lead Engine.
So it's better to create first Excel database.
Exactly.
Input from.
Exactly. I want you guys to like customize it from the very beginning and then from there. Do you have a question?
No, I was just saying that it's a CSV file.
All right, perfect. Now, marketing on autopilot. I'm going to touch up on Lead Engine in a little bit. I'm going to go into marketing on autopilot. Okay. I'm not going to go through the entire program, but I am going to pickpocket the things that you guys will hear me speak about a lot if you guys are coming into my masterminds and all that stuff. And what I do find extremely useful for you guys from the very, very beginning when you guys are setting up your KV Core. Your mass emails. Okay. Some of you guys have been paying for MailChimp for many years. Okay, some of you guys might be paying for your constant contacts for many years. Through KV Core, you can schedule your mass emails without a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to schedule one. You guys, I like using the advanced editor. If you guys just use this regular one, it will look like if it's coming out of your Gmail. I like the advanced editor just because I like, if you guys start going to everything that I do, you guys will see that I like the whole branding and marketing aspect of your emails and looking professional and so forth. So when you guys do use your advanced editors, you guys can, start selecting how it's gonna look and your pictures and where your text is gonna go, and you can place dividers and your social media, buttons and all that stuff. So I like you see the advanced editor. From here, you guys can send who you're sending it to. You guys contacts with hashtags. That's why I say, start categorizing everybody from the very beginning. You guys can say when to send it and even the time in when you want this email to go out. If you have never started doing emails, right? What I tell you guys to start with is at least start with the holidays. Get them all out of the way. You know exactly what day they are, and you can more or less say what time you guys want them to go out. But at least start, if you guys hear me, you guys need to do at least 8 to 12 touches on everybody that, you meet. So your emails are part of your touches. You guys hear me speak about touches a lot. So, start setting up at least your holidays, okay? You guys can also start creating kind of like your anniversaries of when somebody moved in and wishing them a happy anniversary or whatever it may be, but start scheduling things that you guys know the exact date when it should go out. I think it gives you the best initial practice, okay? So again, with KV Core, you guys can start doing mass emails. Apart from mass emails, I want you guys to notice that KV Core does a lot of automated, meaning by itself, all on its own, has a system. It does a lot of automation following up with your clients. You guys know I'm a huge fan of follow-up. If you're not following up, you're wasting time prospecting, right? Like you guys hear me all the time. So birthdays and anniversaries. One thing that I love about the system is that if you guys have people's birthdays and anniversaries, the system, you pick on who you want to receive automatic notifications from the system. And the system will show you, that it's going to email them, it's going to text them. You guys can change the templates, create new ones. If you want to see where those templates are, I'll get there in a minute. That's part of like your campaigns, but I'll show that to you in a second. But the system, if you guys have somebody's birthday, it will send them an email, a text, and also on the anniversaries of purchase, it will send them an email and a text. Again, automated following up. You guys know exactly when you guys close your clients, they should be on here. Same thing with your rental clients, they should be on here. They should be receiving birthdays and happy anniversary dates, okay?
That information you really have to input yourself manually.
Yes.
Birthdays and
But let's say you're doing, let's say you're working with a rental, you're gonna need their ID anyway. You're gonna enter their contact information. So input it, get it out of the way. And the system is gonna do the rest for you for as long as you have the system, it's gonna do that automatically for you without you having to click buttons and okay it. Okay, and it's part of, again, it's if you guys are part of like the masterminds, then it's part of your your following up that you have to do with your current and your past and your leads, right? So I am a huge fan of the birthdays and anniversaries, the mass emails. This is part of like your branding and marketing yourself. Another amazing thing that I love about KV Core is that it does check out the behavior of your clients. What do I mean by this? KV Core is going to automatically let you guys as the agent know, it's going to alert you when a lead revisits your website after 14 days. Because remember, the websites that we provide for you are attached to your KV Core if you have KV Core. If you don't have KV Core, then that website is not attached to us through KV Core at all. It's like a separate website. It's an IDX website. But if you have KV Core, then that website is attached to your KV Core and the system will let you know if they've revisited after 14 days, if they visit your site 5 times in the last week, if they've viewed a certain property, or if they've viewed more than 5 properties, whatever it may be, but it's gonna be on top of you as well. And the reason why it's on top of you as well is because now you can pick up the phone and do that follow-up conversation. Hey, I see that you're on my website. I see that you're checking out these properties. Do you want me to run another search for you? Do you want to check out this area now? So it's doing a lot of automation for you that you don't have to be on top of. Again, if you don't have a CRM, you're leaving a lot of money out on the table, no matter which CRM it may be. And I leave the very best, at least in my eyes, for last, which is the smart campaigns. Smart campaigns is something that I tell you guys, if you've never used KV Core, I want you guys to go through every single one of these campaigns, set yourself a campaign, know exactly what it does so that you know exactly what your clients are going to be receiving. If you're not doing this, you're just activating campaigns just to activate them on your clients, it might be actually hurting you more than helping you, okay? So let's say I was to meet someone at an open house and I input them into my KV Core and I activate the open house campaign. 4 hours after that open house, the system is going to send a text message from the agent to the contact. And that text message is going to say, hi, so-and-so, there's so-and-so here. It was a pleasure meeting you, so forth and so forth. The very next day after that open house, the system is going to send an email from the agent to the contact. And that email says, hello, blah, 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 blah. But I need you guys to read all these templates and know what everything says, because it might be saying things that you guys might have not even done, right? So on day 2, after that open house, the system is going to remind you, the system is going to remind the agent that you need to make that phone call. Obviously, there's no preview here, but you have to know what that email that was sent out and what comes next in order for you guys to have that conversation. So make sure you guys know this campaign. On day 3 of this open house, the system is going to send an email from the agent to the contact, And that email says, thank you for visiting this weekend. I would love to answer any questions you have about the property or the property you might have an eye on, so forth. And so how long have you been in the home search? So it's asking questions, right? So I want you guys to know the campaigns you guys are going to be uploading. So you guys know exactly what language you guys are using in your texts and your emails for when you call them, because the system's always going to, alert you when you're supposed to call.
When
Yes.
I added, I saved, and then that will be the new one I will always have that one saved, or I have to revise and save?
It's already here, right? So if you, and I'm going to show you now. So like I like coming here and then I'll go back to Smart CRM and show you how you activate it there. But as soon as you activate this campaign on that certain contact, it is going to continuously follow up with this person all the way to day 120th. Obviously, it's not every day. From day 25, it jumps to 30, then it jumps to 45. So it's not an everyday, person on them. And this will do it all the way to day 120th up until you cancel or pause this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys know your clients, hey, all right, I'm ready to look, send me these properties, I'm ready for an offer. You guys should not have this campaign activated anymore. Or, you know what, we've changed our mind, please stop, whatever it may be. You stop this campaign, maybe you start running a different one that is not so aggressive, because you didn't, they no longer are that interested, okay? Now, again, you guys have many, many campaigns in here. I think there's about 20 campaigns in here, if I'm not mistaken. And you guys can create your own campaigns. I always say, follow suit. If there's a campaign that you guys like, but need to tweak the language, create your own. You guys have the templates on here, so you guys can create your own templates, maybe create flyers, different emails, that you guys can start running.
In other languages.
We don't have it in another language, but you should be like cloning and creating it in your own different languages. I think that this is one of my favorite tools. Is the whole reason to have a CRM is for this automated following up. I'm a pain, you guys know it. I repeat myself, follow up. So just having a system that automatically does it, half of the work for you or more than half of the work for you, you guys are already gaining time, right? That you guys say you guys didn't have anyway. So now you guys have it available. Yes, Susana.
For example, if I want to make a campaign that I have a developer
Yes.
and I have a building, how do I?
So instead of doing a smart campaign, I would do the mass emails.
The mass email.
I would do a mass emails, have, create it as a template for our mass email and start sending out, to, that developer every so often, maybe once every month or once every 3 months, depending on your audience. You guys know your audience a lot better than I do,
Yeah.
You guys know who your international clients are. You guys know who your locals are. You're New York, California, Texas. So you guys know who you guys should be sending things out to. The program doesn't know that. So I love when you guys say like, Andreina, I need to set up my KV core. Let's do it. All right, come to the office. Now, can I sit there and tell you exactly what to set up and how to activate it for everyone? No, I don't know your people. You guys know your people.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I always say like you tweak it. It takes a good 2 to 2.5 weeks every day, at least an hour every 2 hours a day to fully set up your KV core. But it's going to save you so much time that you already say you don't have. So, it's just to make your life a lot easier. Now, one of my favorite sections, and I think it's one of your favorite sections too, and the reason it's one of your favorite sections is because you guys forget to check out the smart campaigns. You guys don't do the mass emails, but you guys tend to come here to the property listings because it's easy to lead generate, right? So I always say you guys are able to advertise any property of Brokers LLC through our KV Core. So we have the filters applied here. Make sure that they do have agency listings when you guys are going to do this. And let's say that you guys really like this property and you guys want to go ahead and push it to see if you guys can lead generate with this property. So just pick a property you guys like.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually one of my favorite parts to show you because this also allows me to show you kind of like how your websites work. So basically each listing will have a direct link, okay? This direct link is unique to you guys. What do I mean by that? If I was to click on this link, It's going to take me straight through what would be my website. Okay, give it a second for it to open. So if you guys see, that link now turns into my website. Okay, now, before I get started in here, I'm gonna go back to my KV Core platform.
Wow.
This you guys can send via email. Oh, wow, I received like 2 phone calls. So through here, you guys can see, you guys can send via email this property. The system says send it via text. I love this. Post to Facebook, post to Twitter, post to Pinterest, post to Craigslist. Let's say I wanted to post to Facebook. Okay, I'm going to show you what it does, right? I'm not just showing you where you can post it, but what it actually does. If you guys were to post to Facebook, it's still that weird looking link, but right away it shows your website. Okay. Why is this a beautiful system? Okay, apart from Facebook being able to share on your news feed and your story, you can put it on your friend's timeline, at a group, at an event, share on a page you manage, that would be your business page, or share in a private message. Why is this a very, very beautiful system? So I clicked on that link and it opened this, right? Now the system, I log out, it recognized me. I log out of this every single time I do a training because I have to show you what happens when a brand new lead comes in. But for some reason, even though I've logged out every single time, it automatically recognizes me. And I want you guys to see, and I want you guys to see what's gonna happen. So if we are here a little bit longer, you guys are gonna start seeing that I'm gonna get a text message saying Andreina went on my website again. I'm gonna also start getting an email. I'm gonna show you guys this movement that I do get has you guys using KV Core. So I'm gonna go ahead and log out because I don't want the system to recognize me, right? Makes no sense.
So when I click here, my information is not right. It shows my name, but the phone number is wrong and all that. That I assume because I haven't set it up yet.
I'm gonna show you how to set it up. So the phone number might not change just because that's linked to KV Core, so KV Core can grab whoever texts you and stuff, like not whoever texts you, but when KV Core texts them, if they reply to that text, for it to go into your KV Core system so you can catalog everything. There is a way to change that number and make it your own, but that's through KV Core. So I don't know how that works or anything, but you guys can actually do that through KV Core. All right, so I logged out. Now it doesn't allow me to see that property again. Okay, it took me right back to my website. Again, I don't have a picture or anything. I'm not a realtor, so I literally only use this to train you guys. So I'm gonna click out of there because I logged out. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that link again. It's gonna, again, take me right back to my page. It doesn't recognize me anymore. And this is exactly what it does. So I'm gonna start browsing through the pictures. Boom, it's gonna ask me for my information. Okay, let's say this lead does not wanna give you your information. I'm gonna click outside of that. The system is gonna get out of that listing, take you right back to that main page, okay? Let's say now this person is gonna start browsing your website. Wanna view the details on this. Boom, it's gonna ask me for that information.
Okay.
I don't wanna give my information, it's gonna take me right back to that main page, okay? Let's say they're like, man, I really like that property. Clicks on the link again. Boom, it's gonna ask me for that information. If I click outside of it, it's gonna take me right back to that main page. Your page is not used necessarily as an IDX page, you know, for them to browse freely. Your page is used more kind of like a landing page. It's to absorb that person's information. And if they are truly interested in real estate, and if they are truly interested in that one listing that you guys are posting, they're gonna enter that information. And that information, once it's entered, is gonna go into your dashboard. These are the ones that I'm seeing as private leads. You're gonna be seeing that movement. See, Andreina Monserrate, because it recognized me and it's my system. It's gonna give me my information. Now I can see email, I can email them, now I can call them. That's gonna give me the information because this person is part of my KV Core, right? So it's gonna go in here.
Your listing.
It's not my listing, but I'm advertising this listing, okay? I'm and it's not, I'm not really advertising that listing, right? I don't have to ask any permission because I'm not advertising the listing. I'm advertising my website, right? Like it shows my website address. This is kind of like just the front cover of this, what I'm showing. But in order for them to have the information of that listing, you have to give me your information. Okay. This is the beauty of KV Core because this is kind of part of the package of KV Core. It doesn't cost you anything additional. It's part of it, right? But you're lead generating through your Facebook, you're lead generating, you create broadcast lists with everybody and start sending the link to your website. Now you're getting all their information in, whoever's clicking on and viewing and all that stuff.
So that works only directly with the MLS.
No, this works, yes, with the MLS. We have attached the Miami board and the Broward board because our broker is part of both. So you guys are synced to both, but it works with your website. So your website does have the IDX system of the MLS. Does that make sense?
No, I don't.
So whatever MLS listings are shared through the IDX will be on your website. Okay.
But to advertise other people's listings, you need
Permission.
But brokers, you don't because you already signed the contract.
Yes, exactly. All right, so your smart CRM. I want to know if, give me 1 second. No, it's not in here. But I think I received, no, it's not in here yet. I'll show you guys if I get that email because it's so interesting. Through the day today, I'll start seeing Andreina went on. And as you guys can see, she was right away on my dashboard. So like I can already know that she was already on my website and I should be contacting her, right? Whether it's a quick text message or something. Hey, I see you're on my site. How can I help you? But, I do see that she's on. Now, Andreina's my favorite customer. So I'm gonna look her up so I can show you guys a few things. I want you guys to notice that the system, I have campaigns set up. So it has sent 11 emails, 2 text messages, 3 on this side. Like she is my favorite customer because she's my only customer, right? So through here, once you open up your clients, you guys are able to activate campaigns. You guys can edit the campaigns. So I can start removing some of those campaigns. I can activate campaigns. Let's say Andreina tells you, hey, I'm searching in whatever section, you guys can activate alerts. These are kind of like your auto send emails through the MLS. You guys can send them market reports and seller reports. Okay, if they're searching for a certain MLS, you guys can put that MLS in here. If they're the seller, just so they can see, what's going on with their listing. You guys can do new calls straight from here. Again, it's not your phone number. It's the one given through KV Core, so they can catalog that phone call. If you don't want that, again, contact KV Core. Same thing with text messages. You guys can do voicemail jobs, send emails. You guys can add notes.
And the video there, can you talk about the video?
I'm not sure if that's included or because the ones that are in black are, are additional. See, they're additional ones. They're through BombBomb. Again, I have no idea what the prices are or not. This is straight through KV Core. But even if you guys don't do all of the additional things, I think that the platform is so rich and it has so many things that you guys can do that I would start playing first with it and setting everything up and then saying, all right, so I need this, or I want to add that. Just because it has so many things. And most of you guys go in, do this listing thing, start advertising properties, get some lead gens in, but then you guys aren't fully like setting it up as you should. And I feel like that's where most agents leave money out there. Apart from everything that I said, you guys have the marketplace, so you guys can do Facebook ads and Google ads and all that stuff directly through them for their additional cost. That's not with us, that's directly through them. But again, I would start first playing with all the free stuff and all the included stuff that you guys have in there, and then kind of like start adding things as you guys go. But they have really, really, really cool things on here. Now, your website and the information that's on your website. So if you guys go to your name on the right-hand corner, and you guys were to go into your profile, any information that you put in here, including your picture, is what is uploaded on your site.
Okay.
So make sure that all this information is correct. The more information you have, I always believe is best. So make sure that you guys have as much information as possible. Everything that I've included here has been for the trainings for you guys. So I literally have nothing. I don't even have a picture. You guys, if you guys have taken classes with me, you guys know that I like for you guys to have bios and, you know, put all that information. Even if you've gotten your license yesterday, your bio should say, I've lived in this community for X amount of years, you know, like tweak it a little bit, but make yourself as professional as you guys want to be. Apart from this, you guys also have a line that's called Web and IDX. And you guys can kind of like tweak your templates and your themes. And, you know, if you guys have your own domains, you guys can, you know, what is that called? Like, yeah, loop them, connect them so that they can, you know, send your clients over to from your domain to your KV Core. So, I mean, play with this.
Also do it here?
Yeah. Through your Web and IDX, you guys are able to kind of, you do it through here, but you actually do it through that where that domain is. So you have to tell that domain where to go.
Yeah.
But in here, I think you add in that key.
Yeah, because I did that in my domain, in my forward to the.
Yeah.
This, but it's not working, so that's.
So you might need the key to enter in here. I will say that as much as I know about KV Core, you guys know that I don't use it for me as a client. So I'm not using it the same way you guys are using it. So as much as I may be able to answer a lot of your questions, I also say, if it's after hours or it's weekend, or maybe you can't find me, or maybe I tell you, man, I really don't know, because sometimes I really don't know things, believe it or not. This button here, you guys can chat directly with the KV Core people. You guys can send them a message. I promise you they answer absolutely everything. And if you guys need to close out the program, you're not going to miss out on the answer because you will be notified in your emails. They're actually extremely good. Sometimes, see, like right now it says a few hours.
Yeah.
Most of the time it says like 20 minutes
Okay.
or 15 minutes. So I don't want you guys to look at, oh my God, a few hours. Like for some reason, maybe somebody got sick and whatever it may be, right? But they're actually pretty good about it. I actually have had many conversations with them. If you guys see all my conversations with them, they've answered everything. I've actually gotten to know, see, look, I've had like many conversations with them, and I've actually learned the program a lot more through me asking them questions this way. Okay. So I do welcome you guys to ask them questions and, you know, tweak your things, and they can assist you with everything.
I don't see it here. Where exactly would I go to forward my website?
Actually, I'm not really sure. But I don't know if it's through edit settings. Yeah, I will have to contact them. If you want, I'll contact them when the class is over and we can get that same answer together. But I do know it's in this section, okay? To enter in your domain and do it this way through your Web and IDX. But we'll contact them as soon as this is done, and then we can go from there. That is actually a question I get a lot. And we'll figure it out in a second, okay? With that said, even though I've pretty much gone over the things that I find important for you guys from the very beginning, obviously the system has so much more. Hopefully you guys get to learn the system a lot better than I have, right? You guys can become like the best at your CRM. There is a learning portal that you guys can use if you guys are bored at home and you guys really want to advance in KV Core, so you guys can start jumping into everything. You guys have an agent success plan. And it has, you know, different curriculums, and you guys can jump from week 1 all the way to week 4. And it's a whole bunch of little tutorials. Some of you guys have said you guys love them, and some of you guys say they go too slow. For me, whatever way you guys learn, I think that you guys should attempt to learn it. Again, in order to have a very successful business in any type of sales, especially in real estate, you guys should have a CRM with automatic follow-up. So I do welcome you guys to not just use KV Core, but fully indulge yourself in this tool, okay? Any questions, any comments?
Oh, I have to start using it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of you guys need to start using it and moving.
The questions will come as we use. it.
Yes. I promise you, like, as you guys go, you guys are gonna even find new buttons and new tweaks. I obviously cannot show you everything that's KV Core because it's a humongous system,
Mhm.
but I at least gave you a little bit of like where to begin,
Yeah.
right? I showed you how to start lead generating right away through the listings, where to upload your database, start setting up your mail campaigns with the holidays. So, I mean, I gave you a little bit of a guide of like how to begin. Now from there, you guys, it's time to explode it out, right?
My biggest challenge is organize the contacts, because when you go and you get everything from Gmail, for example, you
Yes.
have like 2,000 people that you have no idea how
Yes.
you got
Yes.
and who they are. That is my biggest.
So the
challenge.
ones who you don't know, I just say, start touching them with email campaigns, like don't start setting up smart campaigns, just email campaigns. And then as you guys start identifying, oh, I know who that is, that's a pass, then you start categorizing, like,
Uh-huh.
don't go, I'm gonna say this, because you guys know, if you guys know me very well, I have control issues. I admit it, I'm in meetings, I have control issues. So if I feel it's not gonna come out perfect, I might not do it. I get scared of it. Oh no, I don't know it. I'll do that later. I'll figure it out later. I don't want you guys to be that way. I'd rather you guys say, you know what, let me upload it anyway.
Mhm.
Let me, hit the wall as I go. Because what's the worst thing that can happen with those people? Oh, they get a Merry Christmas email from you.
Uh-huh.
That's a great thing to have. You know what I mean? Or what's the worst thing? Hey, please stop sending me an email. That's okay. That's cool.
And they have an option there, I assume.
They
to
have the
unsubscribe.
option to unsubscribe. So no one's gonna call you and scream at you because you send them an email, right? Like nobody does that. But at least start doing it. Like just indulge in the program.
And once we send and there's emails that are not valid, then the system will like
Yes.
remove those.
Them, through the smart CRM,
Mhm.
it also rates your clients. Okay, it rates them.
Okay.
What does it mean by rating them? Leads usually go through many websites as they're searching for properties.
Mhm.
So this rating is based on how motivated are they, either as a buyer or a seller. Okay, so this rating, like this one, Andreina's always on my website, right? Like she's always on there. She is 5 stars. She's ready to buy, right? But this one has it too, because this one is not going on Facebook looking for property. She's not going on Zillow, like she's recognizing. If they unsubscribe, it will take off that email. It will notify you like, hey, let them go. But their information will stay there for you in case you're still doing your phone calls, in case you're still, touching them in a different way. But it'll let you know, all right, this one cannot receive any more emails. And it will let you know, everything will notify you. Okay. All right, guys, with that said, I'm gonna do the Spanish one in like 10 minutes. So I need to close this one out. For everyone that is in Zoom, I wish you guys an amazing Wednesday. Same thing with the ones in person. If you guys need me, you guys have my cell phone. If I don't answer today right away, just know I'm in a class for another hour. So around 12:30 or 1, I'll be more available for the rest of the day, okay? So I wish you guys an amazing Wednesday and talk to you guys very soon.
Is there any area yet